Hey, it's Soul with another video, and today I'm going to be talking, oh my god, my hair. I'm going to be talking about Classic WoW. Before I start, if you haven't heard already, the Classic WoW demo for people who have the virtual ticket or who had attended BlizzCon, it's been extended by a number of days, so you'll be able to play over the weekend and you'll be able to get on for a couple more days. This is nothing but a good thing. I am excited to see more and more people getting in on this and otherwise being excited about Warcraft overall. Today I wanted to talk about, now that we have the demo out in the open and we're able to take a look at it, what are some of the changes that had taken place, how did the players feel, and what should Blizzard do about it? We're going to take a look at the three major changes that have taken place in Classic WoW with this demo, and try to understand the arguments for and against these. Now, I guess I should disclose this right now. I am passionate about the world of Warcraft. I'm not really interested in playing Classic WoW. I did my time, it's not really my thing. So I guess in a way that kind of it sort of disqualifies me from putting in a very valid opinion since I'm not really going to be playing the game, but I think that I have a little bit something to say, and it's my channel, I can say what I want, whatever. But I think this is something worth talking about. There are many people that are talking about these topics now, and well, let's just get started. There are numerous changes under the hood that are going on with Classic WoW, like running off a 64-bit architecture, being part of the BattleNet client, and so on and so forth. But there are major changes that are going on here that in some ways are affecting the gameplay and otherwise the look and feel of Classic WoW, which are cardinal sins, according to some. Loot trading, that is, during the situation where gear drops, you can trade gear to other players within a certain amount of time. That's something that did not exist in Vanilla WoW, but it does here in Classic WoW. Regarding the ticketing system, most notably to report players for spam or names or cheating or whatever, the ability to report players right away just by going through the chat log, right-clicking and just hitting report player, that's a thing here, but in Vanilla WoW, it was not. Finally, sharding, the automated system that allows players to either get split apart into separate instances or pulled together from different realms or wherever. That's something that is currently here in the Classic WoW demo, but obviously this was not the case in Vanilla. There are very compelling arguments to suggest no, they should not have these kinds of features in Classic WoW. First and foremost is because it's not Classic WoW. These things did not exist before, why should they now? And in my opinion, that's the strongest position that players can take when arguing for not having these things come into Classic WoW when it comes out next year. There are some other arguments that critics have brought up to oppose these systems. When it comes to reporting players, there's an argument that the community should be able to fix itself. Going back to the old school way of reporting, that is putting in the ticket, typing everything out, and hoping for the best, that served to be good enough for the players in that day. And as I also mentioned just now, the community has a way of resolving its own issues, at least it should. Calling out ninjas or toxic people or just jerks, allegedly that has been effective in the vanilla or the classic community. Probably the most severe of these changes are the ability to trade loot between players within that, 2-hour window? Once upon a time in a regular situation where a player was mistakenly given a piece of gear, it was up to the players, or in the instance of a raid leader, like either the master looter or the raid leader or whoever, to put in a ticket for the GM to force a trade between these two players. And that was it. Give or take a couple of days. The argument's being made that by allowing this loot trading, this introduces loot trading outside of these otherwise controlled instances of raids or master looting. By allowing loot trading in a dungeon, this potentially promotes toxic behavior. For example, a group of friends might be in a 4-man group, they get some extra person, a piece of nice loot drops, and the 4 friends, they'll roll neat on it and trade amongst each other, meanwhile that one person gets left out. I agree that that is a really sucky feeling. My personal opinion on the matter relies on just that sheer principle. I don't think that there should be like any changes or any feature changes like this. However, there are compelling counter arguments that I at least want to talk about. And you can feel free to disagree. I just want to have a nice discussion down in the comments below that talk about the merits for and against the additions of these systems. Blizzard is trying to create a faithful recreation of vanilla WoW. The World of Warcraft is more than just the game itself, because when it comes to the customer service side of things, it's not just pixels and numbers and cooldowns, it's the people that support the game. The challenge that Blizzard faces when it comes to either loot trading or player reporting is that by the time that Classic WoW comes out, it's going to be 2019. There have been considerable advances when it comes to the ability to report or to recover lost items and things like that. Should those kinds of customer servicey kinds of systems not be included in Classic WoW? Part of the recreation of a faithful World of Warcraft experience is to reintroduce all those rough edges in the game that gave it its charm. However, should a long-ass wait time be a part of it? Should Blizzard artificially lower its response time when it comes to dealing with cheaters? Should it be that much harder to report offensive names or gold spammers? Blizzard would essentially have to hire more people just to facilitate these kinds of customer service issues. But keep in mind, I don't believe that should be a reason for Blizzard to not do it either. It's just that there's already an infrastructure in place, something that has been born from lessons learned. Some of the more egregious things that players can do, such as harassment, those still require the opening of a full ticket and typing everything out. This counter-argument also kind of applies to loot trading as well. In the more innocent, the benign cases where a mistaken click was made and someone incorrectly got the piece of gear, having to wait hours or even days takes away that otherwise cool moment when finally I got the DKP to get that thing. The convenience of loot trading is designed for when everything is going okay. I definitely understand that this system is being abused, but at the same time, isn't a lot of what's Classic WoW about is the small-time community and being able to otherwise ruin other people's reputation if they're pulling some sort of shenanigans? I mean, if this Classic WoW community is the community utopia that it is trying to be, I just think that they should be able to trust each other with these tools of convenience, should they not? Otherwise, if you don't trust each other, shouldn't you definitely have these kinds of features in place? Finally, I want to talk about sharding, which I thought was going to be a joke, but apparently, they went ahead and did it for the purpose of this demo. Ian made a pretty strong statement about this, that yes, there is sharding in the Classic WoW demo. However, this is meant to be put in place for extreme circumstances, such as the upcoming launch for WoW Classic. The keyword, though, is extreme, so I can understand where Blizzard's coming from if they're limiting sharding to very, very key places, just like what Ian said, in starting zones, and that's about it, just starting zones. So with great hesitation, I could understand using sharding as opposed to some of the other alternatives, which I think are just as bad if not worse. That includes dynamic mob spawning, which is something that we didn't see until the Burning Crusade, or just having good old realm queues. Oh boy. I don't think anybody likes queue times, especially if you're with a group of friends or a guild and they happen to get in while you don't. And it would suck if your client or your computer crashes, your internet goes down, and you try to jump back in right away, only to run into that queue again. So I can accept this in, as said, extreme cases, the level 1 to 10 experience, and absolutely nowhere else. In the end though, I can see this going either way, but I would love to hear your thoughts on the matter. Share your thoughts below with points or counterpoints, and please try to keep it civil. Thanks for dropping by. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so I can keep giving you more of this and all things Warcraft. I'll see you next time. Until then, stay safe, stay happy, and stay breezy.